I think we're back. Yes. Sorry,
We're
folks. We
live.
had technical
So
issues.
so so basically, this is case in point. They tried to keep us down like they tried to keep Shaun White down.
And we're
They
coming
came
back.
back, and now we're back. Pardon the
It's an
technical
Olympic
difficulties here. This is
miracle.
this is really laid back, really casual. We're just trying to get you guys up to speed on some of the trending topics that you've expressed interest in, and some of the cooler side stories of these winter games. And we were talking about Shaun White, basically in that tomahawk move that he pulled off, something that he invented, but actually saved him. He's able to qualify because he hit that back against seemingly against the ropes, right? Probably
Mhm.
not. I mean, this is his fifth Olympics, I think. So he's the veteran. He's kind of like he's the person who we've come accustomed to seeing in these games when it comes to this level of competition. And like I said, nerves of steel. He hit this move and he will qualify
Yeah.
as in his fifth Olympics.
Yeah. I think, speaking of like having that moment where, you falter, but you make the comeback. I think after that mistake where he fell doing the tomahawk, like that put him in 19th place
Wow.
and then was able to redeem himself up to fourth. So I would say that's a heck of a comeback.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, and that's just part of the long picture of just how of greatness when you think about it. Because
Mhm.
something like that, I think, would shake somebody who was less experienced. That kind of, whatever you want to classify it as, a fail, a fall, that
Mhm.
would that would do someone in. But this guy's been to several Olympics, and he's been at the top of the game for a long time. He's used to feeling that way. He's used to having to perform at a high level, and I'm just a regular dude watching and impressed like everybody else.
I know, right? Like we talk about these tricks that they do where they
Yeah.
want to get big air and spin a bunch of times. Like when I go skiing, I'm just worried about keeping my skis on the ground on the ground and my rump off the ground.
Yeah, I mean, when you get in these positions, if you're a normal person and you find yourself in these kinds of positions, you've done something wrong.
I know.
But these guys and women competing at this level do this on purpose. And there's a body awareness that plays into all of this, knowing where you are. You may not be able to see. I think one of them described it as not being able to see.
Hmm.
And we've heard the gymnasts too in the Summer Olympics, like they can't necessarily see things, but they know the feel.
Hmm.
They know that when they hit these certain moves, whether they're supposed to be facing forward or backwards, and it's just, I mean, I'm just in awe every
I
time I
know.
see one of these tricks.
It's pretty mesmerizing. I find myself taking notes, you for my next ski adventure.
And here's and
Kidding,
he,
I'm not going to try any of these tricks.
You know what? And here's the thing. Here's another cool little tidbit with this Shaun White move that I just saw here. Apparently, when he invented this thing, because he invented this tomahawk move, this was something that he famously stuck to cap off the Vancouver Olympics in 2010 in a victory run. So
Hmm.
basically, he had already earned his gold medal back in 2010 and had already sealed the deal. And he was just simply showing off for the crowd. And he landed it. And at that point, you know how it is. It's like when you see something done, then you know it can be done. And here we are, 12 years later, and this is an actual move.
Yeah.
It's an expectation. The bar has risen.
That's like one of the things I remember, like we were talking about in one of the O zones that we did, the Olympic zones, where somebody comes up with a move and it's like it's going to be super hard and no one's ever done it, and then they debut it, and then it's like the trick that everyone has to get under their belt. It's almost like a rite of passage if you're going to be in the elites.
Oh
We
yeah,
all got to learn the trick
absolutely.
and do it.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, it's amazing to see the greatness. It's also amazing if you're younger or inexperienced to be among the greats. And one of those that comes up in the conversation that a lot of people have been tweeting about and talking about is Janice Spiteri. She's not as well known as Shaun White or Chloe Kim, but apparently she's become this sensation because she is like, turns out, like the rest of us,
Oh, yes.
when she's in the middle of a job and she gets hungry, she pulls out some food and she eats it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that if folks have not seen this, which I doubt they haven't because it's going viral, there we go, the
Yeah.
footage
Yeah.
of her pulling out her bao bun out of her pocket while she's waiting for her score to be tallied. And I guess the story behind this, and I feel like I can relate, if you ever have to do something that's nerve wracking and you just like, you lose your, your appetite, like
Mm-hmm.
for me, it's like public speaking, believe it or not, public speaking, which is
Really?
different than speaking for a camera. Would you
It is
agree,
different.
Fred? It's
Yeah,
different.
no, I agree. Totally different.
But she was like, she couldn't finish, so she just like had half of it and then put it in her pocket and apparently just went about her day and ate it later.
Yeah. And, people are just like, all kinds of reactions to this. Because she's not one of those names that we've known, and she's representing, even though she's a San Francisco native, she is actually representing the island nation. She's the sole athlete, actually, the only one representing the Mediterranean island nation of Malta. And she didn't qualify for the half pipe finals, but between her rainbow hair and that bun that she ate, she has stolen people's attention. She's stolen people's hearts. So
I feel like that is, dare I say, is that a Fred vibe right there?
what's that?
I feel like I've seen you many a time walk onto the set with your honey bun.
Oh man, it's a honey bun, it's a Snickers, it's a Twix.
The Twix
It's
today.
yeah, all kinds of things. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, I think, like I said, I think a lot of people, it makes it made her human. It's like, oh yeah, and then of course, before depending on the timing for me, if that newscast is going to come on in the next 2 minutes or whatever, you got to put that thing away and do your job. And so anyway, it's that I think a lot of people identify with her, and it's not the kind of moment that you see every day in the Olympics.
The other cool thing that I love about her, because you mentioned like she's just like us.
Yeah.
She actually almost like kind of is just like us in the sense that apparently, okay, in 2012, she posted on her Facebook that she wanted someone to teach her how to ride pipe. And so basically that's when she started to learn how to
Good
snowboard.
student. She is an excellent student.
What?
Yeah, it is. It's wild to think, that. But there's so many stories like this, and this is the beauty of, the show. Like you said, you mentioned the Olympic Zone show that we do. You get the backstories and you get all of that, and then of course when things like this happen, moments like this, we get a little more interested in what kind of person that athlete is, and a little bit more about their history and a clearer picture of who we're seeing. And they're just like us.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like us. And so we hope to bring more of these moments to you throughout these Winter Olympic Games. So be sure, if you haven't already, tune in to our Olympic Zone. It's on our network at 7:30. It's a great show, inside look, backstory to the athletes and all the actions and moments that you've missed if you haven't been watching the Olympics as closely as perhaps we have, or other people. You can catch up that way. But we'll be talking more about this in our newscast, which, by the way, is late tonight. So
how late is it?
I thank you in advance for staying up late to catch our late newscast.
We can't even tell you how late it is.
Yeah, we
don't know. No,
at the earliest, it'll be 12:30 at the earliest. So
but
we hope to see you then.
Stay up. It'll be a party.
Yeah.
It'll be a hump day party. Is it Wednesday? What day is it?
Well, by the time we see folks on the news, it'll be Thursday. So we'll see. We'll see you guys then. Be sure to tune in at that time.
All right. Bye.